A host-based intrusion detection system, or HIDS, is an intrusion detection system that monitors and analyzes the operations, programs, processes, and the network transactions of a host, right? So this is similar to the network-based IDS, but in this case installed on a host. There are many different tools that monitor dynamic system behaviors in the form of antivirus, right, packages or antivirus software. And while these antivirus software often also monitor system states, they actually do not spend a lot of time looking at who is actually doing what inside of a computer and whether a program should or should not have access to a particular system resource, right? So for example, a host intrusion detection software or system can protect against buffer overflows attacks on a system memory, right? And also can enforce security policies, while the actually antivirus software, they do not do this, right? They cannot protect against buffer overflow attacks unless they actually have a signature that there's some malware that is actually exploiting that, right? But they cannot dynamically just detect buffer overflow attacks, and that's just an example. But things like that in a system, right? So a host intrusion detection system can also monitor the state of programs, memory, processes, and services in a system, and also any modifications to that system, right? So ideally, a host intrusion detection system works in conjunction with the network counterpart, so a network IDS or network IPS, so that the host intrusion detection system can find anything that actually slips past the network counterpart, so the network IPS or the network IDS. Now, since in today's environment, a lot of users are actually mobile users, not all the times they're actually protected by a network IDS or an IPS systems, and that's why folks actually install a host IDS on systems, right? So it's kind of like part of the defense in-depth strategy, where you not only have the network-based components, but you also install software in the host of the end user, right? So a host intrusion detection system uses a database. It's called the object database, and this is a system of objects that it should actually monitor, right? So usually, but not necessarily, the file system objects are included into that database, right? So a host intrusion detection system could also check that appropriate regions of memory have not been modified by an attacker or malware in this case, right? So computer systems generally have many dynamic and frequently changing objects which intruders want to actually modify, and this is what a host intrusion detection system should actually monitor, right? Now these systems, or these host IDS systems, employ different other detection techniques, like monitoring changing file attributes, also monitoring log files that actually have decreased in size since they were actually last checked, right? And several other means to detect unusual events as well.